We are now at question 3 of this CXC CSEC January 2014 exam video solution. And this is a sets question. In this question, we are told that there are 32 students in a class. All the students in the class study Spanish and 20 of the students study French. And we are using U to represent the universal set. Now, since all the students in the class study Spanish, it means that the 20 students who study French also study Spanish. And so the set of French students will be a subset of the set of Spanish students. And let's put that information in. The set of students studying French will be a subset of the students studying Spanish because all the students in the class study Spanish. But the first part of this question wants us to draw the Venn diagram to represent the information. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the rectangle in to represent the universal set. I'm going to show you two ways of drawing this Venn diagram. But firstly, I'm going to use a conventional method of using a rectangle to represent the universal set. And I've placed a 32 in the bracket here to represent the total number of students that are in the class in the universal set. And because all the students in the class study Spanish, we can put one big circle inside this universal set. And the 32 here again represents the total number of students studying Spanish, which would be all the students. And hence we have 32 here and 32 here as well. And as we have indicated, since F is a subset of S, we would place a circle inside this set S now to represent the students in the set F. And let's show that. So this now represents a set of students studying French, and as we are told, there are 20 students in that subset, and so we have 20 here. So we can go ahead and start filling out this Venn diagram by putting the 20 students we know that are studying French, and the remainder of the 32 students who are now studying Spanish will be placed outside here, and we can show that. And so students studying Spanish and not French would be 32 minus 20, because as we said, the total number of students in this Spanish set must be 32, and since we have 20 of them represented here already, then the remainder outside here would be 32 minus 20. That would be equal to 12. And so this represents students who study Spanish but not French. Now this is one way that this Venn diagram could be represented, but we could also use a representation whereby we could use the Spanish set as a universal set. Since all the students in this universal set study Spanish, then we could use the Spanish set as a universal set. And in that case, our Venn diagram would appear like this. And this is it. Our Spanish set would be used as our universal set. And then our set of French students will be placed inside this circle. And then the remainder of the 32 students, which is 12 students, will be placed outside here. And that's another way we could represent this Venn diagram. Let's move down now to part 2. Now part 2 is asking us for the number of students who study Spanish but not French. These are the students here, as we have calculated before. So we can just put that information in. 32 minus 20. 32 students study Spanish. 20 of those 32 students study French, and so the remaining 12 study Spanish but not French, and so 12 is the answer here. The third part wants us to write the set notation for the relationship between set F and set S, that is the French student and the Spanish student, and we have already indicated that F is a subset of S because all the students in the class study Spanish. And some students, only 20 students study French. It means that F is a subset of S. And the set notation for that is this. This means F is a subset of S. And so that's the answer for that part of the question. Let's move down now to part B of question 3. Now part B gives us this diagram representing the plan of a floor. And we are told that all the corners are right angles. So these corners are all right angles. And the dimensions on this diagram are in meters. We're also told that the perimeter of the floor is 56 meters. And the first part of this question wants us to write an expression for L in terms of x. That's the length of the floor across here. Now, if we look carefully, this length will simply be equal to x across here plus 5 across here plus 2x across here, the horizontal length of the floor, if we want to refer to it as that. So L will be equal to x plus 5 plus 2x. So let's go ahead and show that. And this is it. X is equal to x plus 5 plus 2x. And so that reduces to 5 plus 3x. That's x plus 2x is 3x, and we have 5 here. So L, the length of the floor across here, is 5 plus 3x meters. All dimensions are in meters. So the length of the floor is 5 plus 3x meters. And we can show that on the diagram here. L is 5 plus 3x. Part 2 now wants us to determine the value of x, and we have to use the information that was provided that the perimeter of the floor is 56 meters. The perimeter of the floor is the distance around the boundary of the floor. That total distance around the boundary of the floor is the perimeter of the floor, and we are told that that is 56 meters. So we can show that and write an expression in terms of x for the perimeter of the floor. So if we start with this side, then it would be L, which is 5 plus 3x plus 3 plus 2x plus x plus 5 plus 3 plus x plus x. That's the perimeter of the floor. So let's show that. And this is it. The perimeter of the floor is 5 plus 3x, that's this length here, plus 3 plus 2x plus x plus 5 plus 3 plus x plus x, and that is equal to 56 meters. And so we have this equation here, and it's a matter now of simplifying this equation and solving for x. So in terms of the numbers, it is 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, and 13 plus 3 is 16. So that's 16. And in terms of the x's, it is 3x plus 2x is 5x, 5x plus x is 6x plus x is 7x plus x is 8x. And so this side reduces to 16 plus 8x. And so we have 16 plus 8x equals 56. To simplify this expression now, we can divide through by 8 because each term here can be divided by 8. And so we can divide through by 8. And when we divide through by 8, we divide each term by 8. And so when we divide 16 by 8, we get 2 here. 8x divided by 8 gives us x. And 56 divided by 8 gives us 7. And since 2 plus x equals 7, it means that x is equal to 5. And so that's it. X is equal to 5. Let's move down to the second part of this question. Now what we have so far is that the value of x is 5. Part B here now wants us to calculate the area of the floor. That's the area of the entire floor. But to calculate the area of the floor, what we can do is break it with these lines. Now this length is equal to x, and so we have formed a square here. And this length is equal to this length down here. And so this length is equal to 3. And so we can put that on the diagram. And so we have broken down the floor into 3 sections. This section, this section, this section. And we can call this area, area 1. This area we'll call area 2. And this part we'll call area 3. And so the total area of the floor will be equal to area 1 plus area 2 plus area 3. Now area 1 is a square, and the dimensions are x by x. Area 2 is a rectangle, and the dimension will be 5 by x plus 3. And so the area of this area 2 will be 5 multiplied by x plus 3. Area 3 also is a rectangle, and its dimensions would be 2x by 3. And so the area of this area 3 would be 2x multiplied by 3. And so we can write an expression for the total area of the floor by taking the area of area 1 plus the area of area 2 plus the area of area 3. And this is it. Area 1 is x squared. That's x multiplied by x. Area 2 is 5 multiplied by x plus 3. That's 5 multiplied by this side, which is x plus 3. And then area 3 is 2x multiplied by 3. That's it. 2x multiplied by 3. And since we know that x is equal to 5, we can substitute 5 for x in this equation here. And this is it. So x squared becomes 5 squared. 5 multiplied by x plus 3 becomes 5 multiplied by 5 plus 3. 2 times x times 3 becomes 2 times 5 times 3. And we can simplify this now and see that the 5 squared is equal to 25. This 5 plus 3 here is 8. So we really have 5 multiplied by 8. 5 multiplied by 8 is 40. And then here we have 2 5s 10 and 10 times 3 is 30. So this works out to 30. And so the total area of the floor is 25 plus 40 plus 30 meters squared. And 25 plus 40 plus 30 is equal to 95. And so the area of the floor is 95 meters squared. 95 square meters is the area of the floor. And that's the answer for this part of the question. And that's the end of question 3. And we'll do question 4 in our next video. See you then.